was in a cult for 18 years. I came to the realization that it was a cult. Just started sitting here and I was thinking, what should I talk about? And I just kept thinking, why did they do this? Like, why did they destroy our lives? Like, why? Hey, Forex, why did they destroy our lives? Like, why do they do the things that they do? What is the reason? What do they benefit? What do they gain out of this? And, I went to ChatGPT chair. And I looked at, what the reasons are, because I think it's really important to understand it. I can only lie down and do it today, guys. All right, let's get into it. Why malignant, narcissistic cult leaders abuse and exploit people. So the first one is that power as a drug, okay? Cult leaders are addicted to power and control. They need to dominate others to feel alive, important, and godlike. So again, it's feeding those grandiose ideologies. Guys, I feel so unwell. This is what it's like living with chronic health issues, chronic fatigue. It's so bad. The whole bank holiday, like for a week, I've just been bedbound. All right. But I'm here to show people, like, this is what the cults do to you. This is what church cults will do. They'll rinse you dry. So this is why I'm on here. All right. Your obedience feeds their ego. Every time you sacrifice, you give money, you're there, you show up, they feel bigger, stronger, and untouchable. Remember, we validate the cult leader because deep down they're just insecure little boys that were rejected their whole life. So they need the validation in the congregation. That is literally narcissistic supply for them. Survivors' lives are the currency that fuels the leader's illusion of divinity. So all of them big conferences, everything, all of that stuff they put on, they don't put it on for Jesus. They don't really, it's not about people getting saved. Because how many of those people that get saved at these conferences and whatever, like what follow-up do they do? How do they know what's happening with these people? So it just doesn't make any sense. It's all human fecal matter. So we become slaves and not servants. They reduce members to slaves, not equals. So when you're in these church cult environments, you will literally feel like you are a slave, like you don't have any control over your life. It's worse than being in prison. This is why they use endless free labor, music ministry, cleaning, childcare, construction, ushering, decorating, cooking, like every single thing you can think of. They've got the members doing, but they're collecting all of it. They're crowdfunding every second of the day. That's why with cults, you'll notice that there's a constant drive for recruitment and to raise funds. So when you see that happening, how much money do they need to raise, really? They've been raising money. A lot of these cult leaders have been raising money for like over 30 years. Some of them are second gen pastors. Do you get it? Like their daddy was like Kenneth Hagin or whatever. So they've got like generational wealth. Do you know what I mean? It's a legacy that they're building for themselves. Thanks for liking the live, CB. Can everyone that's on here like the live? Because I'm not going to stay on here for 60 likes. Because it just doesn't make sense. It's not protecting the space. And they come on and they report. So, and you know what? Anyone that comes on and reports my live today, yeah, I've literally set an intention of financial illiteracy, disability, and blockages. So when you start seeing a string of unfortunate events in your finances, like constant car tickets, like just like things, where you're just getting like penalty notices and all of that, that's because of me, chair. Because there's no need for you to be on here. All right. Because exploitation is proof of their control. Miss CHM in the car. What you telling me, Queen? It isn't about saving souls. It's about extracting energy, talent, giftings, and labor to glorify themselves. That's all it's about, guys. Self-glorification, stroking of the cult leader's ego, feeding that narcissistic supply. And they both become codependent on each other, the members and the cult leader. The cult leader needs their worship, their adoration, their submission, their obedience, their loyalty to validate the insecurities and whatever. And then the member needs the miracles, the healings, the prophetic word, utterances that That's all mystical manipulation. A lot of these spaces will attract addicts, people from very traumatic experiences, that even if they're a social media influencer, they got followers, whatever, it doesn't matter. We're not looking at followers, we're looking at their trauma. But the thing is, people who join these religions are so young, DUMB, naive, easily impressionable, easily influenced, that they get gassed up. When anyone from the world famous says that they've come to Christ, it's like, thank you, Nikki. It's like you're saying that you want to be in the world, but you don't want to be in the world. But why are you skinning out your teeth and you're on here looking like you've just won £1 million because someone worldly has converted? If Cardi B was to convert tomorrow, they'd all be gassed up, like screaming it from the mountains. But you don't want us in the world. So why are you happy when it like famous and influential people like convert to validate your idiocracy? Do you understand what I'm saying? And I'm so glad that more people are waking up to this, because it's absolutely ridiculous. It's generational. It's in our epigenetics. Do you know what it is? Yeah, they're just like colonizers. That's why when you come into these spaces, if it's all about kingdom building, territory, dominion, like all of that human fecal matter, just walk out. Just walk out. Why are you building another man's empire and legacy to make him rich? Do you understand the amount of money that these porsters get? These people are giving £1,000. If 100 people give £1,000, what's that? 100 people give £1. They've got thousands of people attending these events. It's all about supply and money. Could you imagine being that like religious cult leader and like just seeing the account balance of how much you've made? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like in 2 hours or 3 hours, that becomes addictive. Do you understand? So narcissistic supply. I need to move this. I'm really straining myself, chair. I don't know why I never had it here in the first place. Some idiot. All right. Please like up the live. Thank you, guys. Morning, Blackworth. I see you lot liking up the live. Thank you. Every tear, every humiliation, every act of obedience equals supply. They thrive on extremes. Your admiration when they bless you. So remember I said to you that Bishop Richard Aye, he would like strip people, like threaten to take away people's titles, strip them of their positions. Very, very narcissistic in nature. And this is all a form of supply. They like it when people beg, when people are crying, no, please, please, please don't take the title away from me. Please, Pastor, please. You know, they like all of that groveling, begging. It's a supply. They're sadistic. They get off on it. Oh, morning, Queen Lucia. Queen, I'm feeling absolutely drained. I can't even move my legs. I'm in so much pain. That's why I'm lying down like this. But girl, I've already said to you, look, I could be on my unalive bed. I'm going to be here exposing the cult. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I could get diagnosed with terminal cancer tomorrow. I'm not afraid. I actually want to leave this world. I don't want to be here. I just can't take myself out because I've got kids. I adore them kids. I can't leave my kids here in this evil world and there's no protection. Because I would do anything for my kids. I would give my life for my children. But if it was to be like a terminal illness or whatever, like, do you know what I mean? They could process that a little bit more. This is why they're sitting here sending curses, unalivement, all of these bad things. Like, babe, I don't care. I sit here and daydream about me not being here, babes. Like, I don't care. I've got a very low level life. I'm disabled. I can't work. I can't go out. I've got all of this mental health. This is all from the trauma. I don't care. You lot can wish curses, unalivement upon me, whatever. You be doing me a favor. Don't you understand? Look at the state of me. So they thrive on extremes. Your admiration when they bless you. Your despair when they break you. Even your suffering is supply because it proves they have the power to shape your reality. Do you know what? I've got time today because I can't move out of my bed. Do you know what I mean? So you lot can report up. I'm in a cure because I'll just restart the live and say it all from the beginning because I feel like I've got time today. Let me get my water, chair. Let me make sure I'm hydrating my backside. You get me? Because it looks like you lot want a war. You lot are on warring today. But you know what? I'm in a cure. You get what I'm saying? I wish this was like a real life thing because you lot are a bag of nerds. You get me? Doing up church thinking you're bad. Ha! It's just a joke. It's a joke, babe. Do you know what I mean? Go and get your Bible and pray. You get me? You're not a bad man, babe. You're in church begging it with the pastor. You're swimming in his intestines from Monday to Sunday, babes. You're a bottom B. You're getting sent out. You're a sent out. You get me? Like, you're a follower, babes. You and me are not the same. Like, I'm running things outside in these streets. I'm on here, on live. We've got the collective. I got the support. Like, I'm a boss. That's why I don't chat. That's why you lot don't have no chat for me. That's why you don't come on here, because we're not on the same level. If I don't put respect on your cult leader and your pastor's name, why do you think you're going to be coming up here to say anything? You think you can beg it with these idiots and then come on my live and have some chat for me? Are you all right? So your despair, you're in despair when they break you down. Even your suffering is supply, because it proves they have power to shape your reality, because they want to control everything. Narcissists want to control everything. That's where they get their power from. Do you know what I mean? That it's that ego candy, seeing how far they can push the people. How far can I, what can I get them to do? That's what they do up, and they wrap it and hide it in religiosity. Thanks for the follow, babe. So tactics they use to trap you. Here's the abuse playbook for survivors. So you can see very clearly on the typology of ABUSC and the tactics that they do up. You can see that they're reporting it up, because since I've stepped out into the scene, people are leaving. You lot can't recruit. You lot are getting, you lot are facing backlash, conflict. People are talking about, you don't like it. Because you can't use your love bombing and your coercive control and your gaslighting and your charm and your straight up lies. Thank you for the follow. There were girls I used to see in washed out mop like straw giving wigs, okay, ready to throw in the bin. Their coat, you know, when the puffer has like the stain in it, even when you wash it, it's ingrained in the coat. The dirt is part of the fit. Yeah, and I've gone up to guys, oh my God, you look so good. Where did you get your wheat from? All because I want to love bomb them, gaslight them, be deceptive to get their number, to invite them to church. A lot of the time, they won't even mention Sunday service. They just want to get your number. They just want to, oh, thank you, babe. They just want to get your number. They just want to, they just want to get access to you. Because once they get access to you, because they know you're vulnerable. Like a gal like that is probably getting rinsed out by mandem. She's probably had a, like a really traumatic past. So she's happy to just get a phone call. She's always been used in ABUSE. So now it's like the love bombing. It feels like love to her. She's never had this attention. She's never had this type of love. So this is why I'm saying, learn to love yourself, especially the young gal them. There's no man, there's no pastor, there's nobody that's going to be able to love you the way you love yourself. Nothing's free. People always have intentions and hidden motives and agenda, but you know yourself. And what we really need to do when we leave is learn to love ourselves again. Ashley, I see you, Jer. I see you, girl. And I'm going to get into that, because I'm not just going to talk about what they do up, how they do it, and not give us practical tools. I'm not a mog. I'm not an LB or a prophetess. I'm not trying to take your peas and then just give you invisible blessings. Because as we know, the most delulu type of gal them that you can find in life are in these settings, Chair. Thank you. Hey, Ange. All right. So tactics they use to trap you. Let's get it. So this is the playbook for survivors, so you can see clearly and you're able to identify and make sense of the ABUSE. So fear and damnation. If you leave, you'll go to HELL. It keeps you paralyzed in fear. They want to keep you in that paralysis of fear so that they can control you. Also, let's add sleep deprivation, mind alter practices. You're not eating a lot. Very extreme, radical, hyper-religious environments where they're fasting all the time. They got these extreme prayer times. All of that. And if there's a church cult environment that it's exasperated, hyper religious talk around DEVIL, HELL, it just shows how uneducated they are. For lack of knowledge, our people perish. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a lot that we could discuss, and it doesn't need to be about the DEVIL. If they spent more time on, they can't talk about Christ. Don't you get it? They need to talk more about the DEVIL, because that is how they are. If they start to speak too much about the real message of Christ, it will expose themselves. That's why it's false doctrine, and it's wrapped in hyper-religiosity, rituals, meetings, follow-up. It's all doing. It becomes legalistic. Also, if the church cult is focused more on Paul, it's like you're going to the church of Apostle Paul and they teach more on Paul than Jesus Christ. You need to cut out, because that is an ABUSE church, and they're using the works of Paul to twist and manipulate it. A lot of these church cults use the works and writings of Paul to use as the transcendental belief system to twist and manipulate the scriptures to assert full control over your life. All right. Ooh, let me take a breath, chair, because I am unwell, baby. I just want to say I love everyone so much. Just pick yourself up. And especially like Lucia for the support, because I've been really unwell and she has been supporting me on the phone as well. I really love this collective, and I don't know what I would do without you guys, okay? I honestly feel like not that I'm nothing without you lot, because I am something, because I don't want to, you know, that's quite mega churchy. I don't want to say that. But I almost feel like we complete each other. Like, do you know what I mean? Because I feel like we felt very isolated, neglected, not really felt like where we fit in society, had a lot of trauma. Majority of us, if not all of us, are vulnerable adults. We've either got diagnosed or undiagnosed issues. And when you come out of these church cults, you have the least you'll come out with is PTSD, chair. Yeah, so we're all like vulnerable adults. Our life changes so much. Do you understand what I'm saying? They have altered our lives. Oh my God, I'm telling you now, yeah. Guys, you know, this week, I think I'm just going to have to go into it, because me, I'm hyper religious on my own. If I decide I want to do a shut-in and pray and fast for 3 days and I'm not on the internet, I'm not on nothing, I need to do something radical this week because I need things to speed up. So guys, if you don't see me on live as much, please don't get worried if I'm not communicating as much. I'm just going into warfare now. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I need to literally I need to do a shut-in, lock up everything, get lock off social media, everything. And I need to go into a deep state of warfare because I'm not playing with them no more. I'm not playing, because I haven't done that. I'm not playing with them no more. I'm not playing. All right, so love bombing, because you know what? I'm going to let what I do behind closed doors speak for itself. Love bombing and favoritism, sudden attention or praise keeps you hooked, chasing approval. It becomes addictive. Do you know what it's like? The kind of love bombing that they do up is, you know, like think back to when you were young. If you haven't been groomed and an older guy hasn't like been with you or whatever, then just think of a different scenario. But I have to use this one because this is all I can think of from personal experience. So let's say a guy comes, yeah, he grooms you, he's an older guy, this, that, and that, but it's all been love bombing just to sleep with you. Let's say you haven't lost your V, yeah, then you sleep with this guy and then he just discards you. Now that girl she seeks the attention from being wanted for her body, this, that. Do you understand? Like them type of gal, they're not 304s because they've been used, violated. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's different. There's a lot of trauma. You get me? So they keep doing what they need to do to literally like sell themselves to get the attention. And so I liken that to the love bombing experience in these very dangerous church cults, because then what they do is these people are very vulnerable, never had any attention, you know, a plethora of issues. They make them codependent on the leaders. The leaders thrive off that. Are you not seeing the patterns? And then they get a supply of like discarding you, seeing you sad, seeing you like controlling your emotions and being able to push your buttons. They get a supply of that. And they're mentally unwell, guys. They don't operate like normal people. So we also need to like, yeah. It's like a thrill. Yeah, it's like a fetish. Yeah. And if you've been close to like the pastor or the mog or the first lady or the pastor's wife or someone quite high up in the cult, you would have noticed this, like the push and pull, the walking on eggshells, the silent treatment. You know what I mean? Acting like they don't see you in church when they've seen you. You know, it's just little things. It all adds up. So then you start questioning your reality. What have I done? What have I done to her? She right there. And it starts to make you go insane. Like that's the gaslighting. They'll make you believe like you didn't answer a message on a WhatsApp group. Or guys, I've been there. I've been like second in command to the first lady like of that branch. I've been like second in command. You get, there was no one closer to the pastors in London Apache, like when my pastor was, there was no one on my level there. So I know, that's why I know everything, Chair. Hey, Alpha Mel. Hey, Oracle Mama. I don't know everything quite literally, but I know a lot. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because I was raised up and I had such a good heart. I was trying to like help my pastor and that. I was always giving everything I had. I'm so generous. I was always giving like all my money. Be careful if you're generous, you know. Who's that? Hey, Oracle Mama. Hey, Alpha. Oh, I seen someone else come on, chair. Welcome, guys. Welcome. So it's all of this stuff that they do. They're so toxic, man. They just like they open you up and expose you to very toxic behavior. All right. Public humiliation. Breaking you down in front of others erodes confidence, makes you dependent. They even break down the husbands in front of their wives. So they emasculate the men as well. It erodes your confidence, and that is we don't want to bypass that, because when you come out, your confidence is shattered into pieces. Look at the state. Look how I look there. Look how I was looking here. You're a shell of yourself. You're a completely different person. So you have to like rebuild everything. When we're saying we're rebuilding our life, it's not just, yeah, Nissy's an absolute pick me. It's not just coming out, deprogramming. It's your dress sense. If you went into this cult in the 90s, you're gonna be like, that's why my aesthetic is the 2000s. Luckily, it's in. It's like a thing. 90s, if there was ever an era where time stopped, the 90s and 2000s, that's what saved my life, chair. But it's like, you get stuck in time. So you got to figure out what do you like, what genre of music, because we weren't allowed to listen to worldly music. So I've come out and now we've got Offset. The last time I was hearing rap, it was like Nas, do you get what I'm saying? Mobb Deep was still alive. Like, are you lot all right? It's like doing time. So you have to rebuild. Absolutely. That's why I'm like, sometimes I think, oh God, I'm such a mess. Why am I coming on here to chat to people? But I have to remember, I should be unalived or on some type of hard DRUGS or just completely finished, not able to communicate with people, because I was in there for 18 years. So I think the fact that I've gone from this to this and managed to keep my mind, I do need to give myself credit and be like, do you know what? These are my stripes. This is why I'm talking out. Because one thing I'm still working on is the breaking myself down, but I've come really, really far, because the ideologies that break you down, that's where you get those feelings to just end it. Yeah. It's from that, the breaking down. You look so much happier now. Absolutely glowing. Oh, thanks, babe. And that's why I don't know why RPF's coming for me. Because, babe, if I was to have been doing an RPF and I had just church cult hops, I would have been the queen in RPF. What? With this powerful voice. They love mystical manipulation. With this head wrap, with this skin. Are you all right? You know that how they love colorism as well. So they look at me like an oyin, but I could have thrived in that environment. Are you all right? All right. So isolation, cutting you off from family and friends. You rely only on them. So they're your web of support. You're stuck in this web of codependency. It's crazy, man. It's like, do you know what, guys? It's all of the spell work. They make us repeat a lot of stuff, like saying things like, I will stay in the house of the Lord forever. I will serve faithfully. I will follow Dagwood Mills. We're saying these things, and what you say it becomes. So basically, they use us, they siphon our energy to get us to speak these things into existence, and they manipulate the energy, they shift our timelines, they expose us to dark occult practices. Please like up the live, guys. 16K. Wow. Please like up the live. I believe in the prophet. I believe in his holy words. I believe in his eminence. I believe it's all of that repetition, ritualistic, is spell work. And that gets rooted deep into the psyche, and then it's just full control. People don't understand the power of words because they've done up capitalism, tried to make everything about social class, but it's really about knowledge. That's why they say for lack of knowledge our people perish. Someone can win the lottery and, blow it all in a year. Yeah, it's about having that wisdom. Exhaustion, long services, rehearsals, all-nighters. You're too tired to think critically. They have you in constant mind-altered states. They want to control your behavior because they want to get you into that routine, teach you the structure, the systems, get you into that habit, make it your routine, make it your life, make it your everything. What kind of occult practices do they do? So they do if you look at the more extreme ones, like, UCKG, I mean, they're getting them to stand on a red star, getting them to hold up this red sheet to signify, I don't know, what is it, the River Nile, they're all walking under it. They're getting them to bring photos of their family, burning them in a bin. But the more kind of normalized occult practices is wrapped and covered in all of the dark psychology. So the dark psychology is the witchcraft, okay? The dark psychology. The ability, it's not broomsticks and tarot cards and crystals. It's if you have got someone that looks like a robot, like look at that girl that's from America that's in the woods somewhere in Scotland with that weirdo and the other gal. If that is witchcraft, spell binding someone, the ability to, I put a spell on you and now you're mine, give me 1,000 pounds. The Lord will bless you. I put a spell on you. Some of you feel like you need to give 100 pounds. Just come forward. If you can sell invisible blessings, my love, you're a magician. You're an illusionist. You're an enchantress. Do you understand what I'm saying? Incantations. Yeah, it's all spell work. And even when you look at manifestations, it's a lot of the time it's not it's manifesting that they're doing in their chair. I'm not saying manifesting's evil, but it's the intention and the motive and the agenda, the hidden motive that you have behind that. Because God has given us the gift to speak things into existence and they happen, okay? They take that power away from us and they siphon it. So we're all now thinking towards this collective vision, this transcendent belief system that the cult leaders created, win the loss at any cost. We're using all that same energy you could use to build your side hustle, to work on your university. You're using it to build a cult leader's empire. The currency of the universe is energy. It's not money. They had to put their time and energy into making that money. It's money. It's energy. It's not money. But that's how they turn everything upside down, because they're magicians. It's all illusion. It's smoke and mirrors, the healing, the miracle. They are magicians. The intention is what decides whether the actions are good or evil. That's it. That's it. But it's the sacred science and the hidden knowledge that they corrupt and gatekeep and information control. And then they filter through and feed us the information that they want to feed us based off their hidden agenda and motives, which is dominion, power, world domination. Financial exploitation, demanding tithes, offerings, sacrificial giving, speaking about damnation. They don't even need to say you'll go to HER if you don't give, because all the 364 days of the year, they're talking about DEVIL, demon, HERL. So it's like they'll say if you feel convicted, but that's not convicted, that's guilt. That's coercive control. That's gaslighting. Where you have your last £100 and you say, I'm going to give this £100. I don't know how I'm going to eat. I don't know how I'm going to get to college. And that's why the young people are exploited more, because they don't have rent. They don't have babies to look after. They don't have no responsibilities. So they're going to give the £100 because they know their parents isn't going to let them starve. Then who does that responsibility and accountability fall on? Us, the parents. And then as these kids are going out and doing whatever, it's the parents that they're coming running to, begging for help. But they're there worshipping the cult leader. Absolute insanity. So the sacrificial giving, the constant seed offerings, tithes, people are tithing from their benefits share. Even the government, acknowledge that it's not an income. There was a survivor that sowed £500 from her PIP rebate. The government, again, don't recognise PIP as income. People can still work and get PIP. So these people are more EVIL, more callous than the government chair. That's how deep it goes, all right? How can the government have more charity, more love in their heart, do more for people than these mogs that are claiming they're coming in the name of Christ? Listen, if Jesus was to come back tomorrow, he wouldn't even be able to get behind that pulpit to even get the mic. The security would have put hands on him. All right. I know, I clocked that as well, girl. Would have put hands on him. And they're claiming that they're the Church of Jesus Christ. Christ said, you will say, Lord, Lord, but I say, I don't know you. Many will come and say they've cast out demons. We've healed, did this in your name, but he'll say, I don't know you. This is the times we're living in, guys. It's all these false prophets, mogs, etc. Yeah. Yeah, girl. Listen, Kairos security, they don't ramp, They twisted a member's old dad's arm. I can't remember, what is it called when it's brutality? Yeah. Christ would have to go down to the police station and file an ABH or GBH case. All right. That's why you need to be thinking logically when you go in these spaces. If you know your mum's just unalive, that's not the time to start getting into religion. That's the time to get into therapy. That's the time to grieve. That's the time you've got to get over that and work through the trauma. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then you can start to think about committing to a religious organization that, you don't even know anything about it. You don't know what their history, you know what I'm saying? You're vulnerable. It's like being in a narcissistic relationship. You're going to go from being with a narcissist to a psychopath, like what I did. Chill. So the sacrificial giving, it keeps you broke and disempowered. sexual exploitation, grooming, spiritual marriages, arranged marriages, marriages for papers, coercion, ultimate domination of body and spirit. Also, the arranged marriages are to benefit the cult. So they don't care if the person's attractive. Because you have to remember, when you get married in these spaces, it's bounded choice because you lose all your hobbies, yourself. You take on the pseudo personality of the cult leader. So you actually don't have anything in common. What you have in common is this kingdom marriage, kingdom building marriage, scriptures. You don't even have time to get your back blown out because you're constantly in the cult. So they don't choose a wife for a lover, a companion, for someone to share moments. They choose a slave that will literally lay on her back and just do up the cult. And when I mean lay on her back, I don't mean for blowing up the back, because they're celibate marriages. They're in single married relationships. They are married to the ministry, and these people just do it as, you know, it's a duty. It's something that they have to do to be able to do the work. A lot of people see marriage like that. Cloning and uniformity, forcing same dress, same language, erases individuality and creates conformity. So we all know they love to clone people. I've done a bit on this. They tell you that marriage is your first ministry, innit? And that's how they exploit the marriages, because they use the marriages as like this ministry, kingdom building. They want them to, like, you know, like polished, heavily indoctrinated members to go and set up branches. It's all a part of the empire, the franchise building. Do you know what I mean? It's all a part of the system. It's all a part of the corruption. Why they destroy lives? They don't see you as a person. I want you to just take a moment to process that. They dehumanize us. They're narcissists. They lack empathy. They don't feel. They don't know how to show emotions. All right. That's why you'll see these mogs. They'll make like cutthroat decisions, like cold as ice, and then say, as mogs, we have to make hard decisions. You know, God has anointed us to, you know what I'm saying? All of that smoke and mirrors. Yeah, they're just EVIL. They see you as an object, a resource, a pawn. Your suffering is proof of their superiority. It's a narcissistic supply. If you succeed or thrive outside of their control, it threatens their fragile ego, so they break you to prevent you from outshining them. And that's why I made it a point of leveling up, doing that work before I came to speak out, because I knew I was going to get judged anyway. And, you know, I came back looking great. And it was like, I'm putting my name on this. I'm putting my face on this because I want you lot to know it's me that's exposing you. You get me? It's me, Chair. You've got my number. Call me up. You get me? I don't have to hide anywhere because you lot took 18 years of my life. Think I'm going to be not saying that, and I'm going to be talking until the day I unalive, Chair. Minakir. The us versus them war. Cult leaders position themselves as chosen and the world as EVIL. Survivors are taught to believe, if I suffer, it's holy. If I rebel, I'm demonic. So you can see how why the wives, there's so much DV, so much wives getting unalived in these situations, getting ABUSED, getting exploited, these narcissists love going to these religious environments because they get to assert full control over naive DUM women that have internalized misogyny. How can you be on Temptation Island and claim that you're a couple that met in church? Imagine a survivor sent me a video. It's crazy. This guy did her accounts at church. He must have seen that she was getting in that shmoney, you know, these dusties. And then he said that same night they blew out the back. And you're sitting there on Temptation Island, and the girls come on and spoken about their relationship, how he's a man of God, they're close to church. My man's come and embarrassed her, asking her for menage a trois, and the girl said she doesn't feel comfortable with that. So he's saying that she's not pleasing him in that area. Do you know how ABUSE that is? Crazy. So he'll always assume control. It's like you're lucky that I'm with you because you can't even satisfy me. You can't even please me as a man. Yeah, I'm gonna do content on it. And guys, this is why knowledge is power. Go and research these things. Dynamics of relationships. We've got ChatGPT. What is a narcissist? Like, really break it down. Like, watch documentaries. We are in the age of knowledge. Like, no one's got any excuse. You get it? We need to really delve into the ocean of knowledge, because if you knew you were in that cult doing the most evangelism, you were number one prayer warrior, youth leader, doing choir, doing this, that, and the third, you were deep in. So you've got to supersede the depth that you were in this cult in, whether that's spirituality, spiritual practices, knowledge, the sciences, more of the metaphysical side of things, whatever, the psychology. You've got to have a replacement. You've got to be able to fill that void, because something else will fill it. DURGS, alcohol, people. And don't get me wrong though, we do need a little something here and there because child, the trauma, child. You get me? Are you all right? But I mean, you know, have like your coping mechanisms, have some healthier ones as well. Yo, that TikTok glance doc you said to watch when I first found your page opened my mind. Oh, the dance. Oh, yeah. What was it called again? Dancing with the DEVIL survivors. That is a very good documentary to watch. Maybe there's a reason why Oracle Mama has actually said that. So Dancing with the DEVIL, go and watch it, guys. It will help you to deconstruct. Yeah, it's really good, isn't it, guys? And I was just sitting there thinking, how am I relating to this? Crazy. All the same tactics and characteristics. Ashley, I see you, yeah. Ashley, they must have done you dirty. You know, them ones. Chaka, she is liking up this live chair. Ashley, what did they do to you, man? What did they do to you, chair? All right. This fuels endless conflict that keeps members bonded to the leader whilst fearing outsiders. I appreciate you, man. Isolating them from their families, yes. And you have to understand, some of these people, like, I've had people who their mum's unalive, dad's unalive, they've just got like their gran and their one auntie, and the cult leader gets their claws into them. That's it. They've left a little piece of family that they have. They destroy. I've seen families come in, like whole families, husband, wife, 4 kids, and they've broken the whole family down. Like now you got the dad in Rwanda, you've got the son in frigging Cambridge, you've got the daughter. Do you know what I mean? They just came wanting to serve the Lord. What did they do? Isolate the family, turn them against each other. They're warring. It's so sad. That's why sisters turn enemies. Husband and wife turn, you get me, enemies. Like all of those dynamics. Mother and daughter, father and son. And then they'll use the scripture. You have to HATE your mum, your life, your brother, your sister, to sacrifice, take up your cross and, you know, follow Christ. Is very extreme. Parents don't stand a chance. That's why I love my kids, like to the point where I'm like, they're more like their friend. I apologize. It could be a small thing. It could have been like, say like I told them to do something, I didn't realize they did it, and I'll be like, do you know what, I'm really sorry, I apologize, I overreacted a bit, you know, mommy's having a hard financial time. And I actually say to my kids, because I'm in a financial sticky situation, I've projected this onto you. And I break it down and I say, you know, and even when I was going through my worst mental health, I said to them, mummy's brain isn't well, guys. I explained my mental health. I break it down to them, and I don't want to get emotional, but that's why I say, like, when I make it, it's just me and my girls. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, you lot will see me live, like, you'll see me out living my life with my girls like they're my brethrens. Because when I was at my lowest, at my most unlovable, and the only one who loved me was God and my mum, them kids rode it out with me, man. Them kids held their mummy down. I'm so grateful to God for my children. And just to think that they can sever that bond. My worst fear is my 11-year-old getting to that teenage, you know, like vibe and just like leaving me and HATing me and, you know, not wanting, like, not liking me as a person. It's my worst fear. Thank you, Nikki. Do you understand what I'm saying? And they destroy and rip families apart. Do you know how that breaks a mother's heart? It's so sad. And if you are watching and you've got kids in there that you've lost to these church cults, my heart goes out to you. Thanks, Oracle. I'm not a perfect mum, but hey, Haynes, I try my best for my girls, man, because it's not fair. Do you know what I mean? They didn't ask to be put in this situation and whatever, and I'm a mess. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But I'm honest and open with my kids about it, you know? And people might, oh, they're too young because one's 8 and one's 11. No. That's why there's been this history, especially in our community, of kids getting essayed, this, that, and the third. I speak to my kids. I teach my kids to be strong and to put hands on people that try and, do you know what I'm saying? All right. The truth survivors must be told. You were never the problem. Big yourself up, A Quiet Place. Their abuse wasn't about your sin or weakness. It was about their hunger for domination. They needed you more than you needed them. Without followers, their fantasy collapses. Your healing is their undoing. The moment you see the tactics, you dismantle their control. Big yourself up. And this is why they HATE to see me come in. They try and get me off the net. They try and, you know, they've tried everything to drag my name in the mud. They tried to say that lie and say I didn't have custody of my kids. But even if I didn't have custody of my kids, so bloody what? Do you know what I mean? Isn't it better for kids to be in the care of someone that they're safe with than being with a parent that's not? There's no shame in that. Some mothers, you know, they go through breakdowns. It's the hardest role in the world is being a mother. That's why God gave it to the women. It's the hardest role. And sometimes women get to their breaking point, and you know, like support services. I'm a social worker. It's not a bad thing. So, social workers come in and they need to help them, and there's no shame in that. Going and asking for support and guidance and help, and saying, do you know what? Is it better for kids to be removed from their mother's care or their parents' care than for us to be seeing things like baby pee and stuff? So don't do that. But I never lost custody of my kids, not a day in my life. My ex-husband loves them girls so much. We just have shared custody, that's all. We live down the road and we parent them like when we were married, so that they did, because we just knew that if I moved somewhere far and it would disrupt them, it would thing them up in their mind. That's why in this very fragile season, I haven't introduced them, nor has their dad. We've been separated for years, probably been about 3 years. My kids have never been introduced to a man. They've only seen my brethren, that's a minister, and he's come in, you know, his whole attire. They've never seen any other guy. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like coming into the yard chair. It's not about that, yeah? And that was when I was in a really bad space, and he came with some people to pray for me. That's the only man that they've seen in the yard. So people be like, oh, she's a devil, she's a witch, but I've got my brethren are coming to pray for me, chair. But I'm not like y'all. I don't need to record my friend praying on a TikTok live to prove to people that I'm religious or I pray. I don't feel the need. I don't need to do up that. It's y'all that feel like you need to do that, because everything's performance based. It's all manufactured in there. Right, so survivors reframe. They treated us like slaves because they were empty without our energy. The cult leader is nothing without the energy. They're nothing without the congregation. That's why they're always telling you that you're nothing. You're a sinner. You were saved from grace. You're nothing without God. You're nothing without the setting. They made you. That's why it's all projection. That's why I say it's witchcraft, because it's lies, it's deception. It's like it's an illusion. It's manipulation. That's all witchcraft. If you're doing it with bad intent. They destroyed us because our freedom terrified them. They fed on our pain because it made them feel godlike. But now we see the tactics. Now we reclaim our power, and their abuse no longer defines us. Our healing does. All right. So let's get into it, y'all. So now, having said that, and it's our healing that defines us, it's rebuilding our life. How can survivors begin to heal and deprogram? Because remember, I like to give. I'm a practical girly. Because in these church cults, they just want you to be delusional, like walking in the clouds. You're in there like some idiot. That's why I don't put no respect on their name. Like, you want to come on and chat for what? Regurgitated slurs and tones, robotic. You don't know nothing. You're not even of the age to speak on the live. Barry, you lot come from such dysfunctional upbringings where you haven't even been mothered well. So you're under the age doing up TikTok. Do you know what I'm saying? So your parents don't even have any control over you. But why am I gonna? Do you know what I mean? It's not even for your age group. You're all excited, speaking fast when you come on there. Like, it's not that type of setting, innit? All right. So how can we begin to heal and deprogram? Name what happened. So guys, I think I am going to put this on YouTube, even though I look like a blood clot mess, because I think that this will help. Then I'm going to go and have my breakfast, and then I think I'll come back a bit. But I want questions. Guys, do you want to ask me some questions today? Because if you've got questions, I'll make my breakfast whilst I'm answering your questions, but I'll restart the live. If you want to have a Q&A session, but if not, I'll just go and come back. Also, if anybody's got any ideas or you've got like something that you've really been struggling with, an area, it could have been something that you looked at, a certain a theoretical concept that you're maybe struggling to grasp, or a certain tactic that was used, or something that was done to you by a leader, and you're trying to make sense of it and get a name for it. Because guys, really use these sessions for us to really deconstruct and deprogram, because I don't have all the answers, but ChatGPT has most of them. Ooh, yeah, that's a good one, Cher. All right, so how the cults affect our physical health and our health. Oh, that's a good one, Lucia. That's a really good one, because I could do a whole thing on that, because I'm sure people would have questions, and then I can revisit because what I've said is when everyone leaves a cult, so post cult exit, your first thing that you should do is go into your GP. You need to get a full health check. Thanks, Oracle Mama. You need to get a full health check, blood test, everything. And you need to say to the doctor that you were in a high control group, a religious cult for however many years. You've been exposed to gaslighting, ABUSE, like really break it down. Sleep deprivation, mind altered states, starvation, modern day labor, all of that. And that, explain your symptoms. Do you get it? And go and get tested, because it might be that you've got an iron deficiency. I know of survivors. Yeah, the nerve. You want a bit on the nervous system as well, Azzy? All right, no problem. So there's all of these things that we need to take into consideration. Do you know how many survivors, like they were coming on the lives, engage it, this, that, and then they went to go and get themselves checked out, and then they've got like this life-changing autoimmune disease, and all of a sudden it's not that they were just lacking energy and being so tired, it's like now they've got all of these diagnoses, because now they're not in disassociation. They're now facing the reality and the impact of what this environment, the toll that this environment has had on people. Because people that stay in the self-sealing system, they live with these illnesses. And it's like when they get pregnant or later on in life, they start to get diagnosed, or they just unalive. Do you know how, listen, people unalive young in these cults, like 50, 40, 44, 40, 39, 52. That's young. That's young. It's not like people are in their 70s and 80s. It's all like people with youth left in their bones, chair. Oh, it hasn't sent your whole message, my love. All right. So the first thing you do when you're beginning your healing and deprogramming journey, the first thing you need to do is like AA. So you need to say, I was in a cult. You need to let go of the shame, that whatever that you had when you're doing up in there. So the first thing that you need to do is like look in that mirror and say it. Believe it. Because if you haven't internalized that and you're still looking at that place as a church and a mosque and a pastor, they're still going to be controlling you. That's why I have survivors who have left, but they're scared. They're afraid. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like still asking questions, like they're confused. Because you are still internalizing that is a church. And then the worst ones are the ones that church cult hop and internalize Christianity in a different way. Oh my gosh, they're the worst, because they're like, oh, that was spiritual ABUSE. ABUSE is ABUSE, my love. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they don't want to face that 95% of these spaces are run by malignant narcissists. So there's that disconnect and that disassociation. All right. So you firstly need to name what happened. First step is truth. Telling it, calling it for what it is, for what it was. Abuse, exploitation, manipulation. Saying I was in a cult instead of I was in a church shifts the blame from you to them. So that's why I was using the word cult and saying church cult. And I came and I absolutely demolished church hurt. When was the last time you heard someone doing up church hurt? So now when they're doing it, we know they're either ignorant, illiterate, uneducated, or just being shady. Just message you what I said, Queen. It wasn't showing. All right. Let me get through this bit and then I'm going to read out what you said, my love. All right. This dismantles shame and opens the door for healing. Okay. And that's the same with AA. That's how they get them off the alcohol. All right. What's booked for Wednesday? Oh, okay. All right. I've just seen that. Because this girl's always booking things, concert, this, that, and that. And I thought she'd done something and I just seen it on my WhatsApp. Like, we're going. Hey, girl. Hey, my loves. Down with the crackers. Love the jazz vibes, by the way. Oh, thank you. It's Yusuf Days. All right. Okay. So what Queen Lucia is saying is, imagine me and another person had to have a root canal treatment at the same time in the same place in our mouth. Whoa. That was when my health issues first started. Oh my God. So, yeah, because it's like, do you know what it's like? Like when you're all living together and you come on your period at the same time. That's what you start to notice, because you're all moving together. You're all getting like the same diagnoses. My cult leaders, my spiritual father's wife had exactly the same symptoms as me. That woman has Addison's. She's living with like a chronic health. If she's not careful, she'll unalive young. Because these are like silent unalivers, and you need to have the meds to like, help you, and need to go to your appointments to get it checked, because it's a silent unaliver. That was when you all left. Lord Jesus. It was like God was speaking to you, innit? Thanks for sharing that, my love. So affirmation. What happened to me was abuse. It does not define me. That experience doesn't define us, guys. We're in an age now where, you know, like people are defying, you know, these social constructs and beauty standards and, you know, unrealistic expectations and goals that they set for us, especially as women. You know, there's women now doing things at 50, 40, defying, you know, stereotypes and people's expectations and whatnot. So this is an era where, you know, you've got the internet. You can be or do whatever you want to do. All right, so learn the playbook. Study cult tactics. So, for example, bite model, narcissistic abuse, gaslighting. Guys, I've done this all for us. It's all in the content. And that's why I believe that survivors are really deconstructing and deprogramming. A lot more people have come out than what I thought, boy. Don't ramp with this cult psycho ed. Because the thing is, before in the 80s, you know, when they had that splurge of like new age cults and that hippie era, and you know the Vietnam War was going on and the young people were just losing their minds, and there was an infiltration of these cults, and deprogrammer Rick Ross used to have to like snatch them off the street and put them in the boot chair in the transit R.I.P. Puds, man. That used to be his tune back in the day. Chair, my life is just full of trauma. But yeah, and then they would take them away for 2 weeks and deprogram them for 2 weeks straight. But that was, of course, against their will. So this is why, because I've been coming on here like every day consistently, like survivors are able to deconstruct and make sense of the ABUSE. Is Miss CHM on here? When you see the tricks and the tactics, you stop personalizing the pain. And that's the thing. We need to stop personalizing it and internalize it. And we need to like shift the blame back on them and put accountability on them. Do you understand? Like that's how you start to release the trauma. It wasn't me. It was the system. Education is the antidote to indoctrination. So this is the antidote, guys. This is the vaccine. And Christ says it in his word, for lack of knowledge, my people perish. Yeah. So the opposite of that is to thrive, is to get knowledge. So I think for me, because I'm a natural academic, I love learning. I'm a chatterbox, innit? Like, and I don't like to be talking human fecal matter. So I'm a seeker of knowledge. That's how I am. So after this experience, I don't close myself to any type of knowledge or any type of individual belief system, whatever, because I'm so secure and in my beliefs, my morals, my mindset, that nobody can shift or sway my cognitive thought process. I'm too powerful for that. So therefore I can open myself up to like a Satanist or a Vedum practice, a spiritualist, a Hindu, a Buddhist. I don't care. Do you know what I'm saying? Like no one has the power to possess me or, you know, have an influence over me, because I influence myself. I'm not a follower. I'm not easy to manipulate, and I'm not vulnerable anymore. I talk about my business because I'm not vulnerable anymore. I don't want to date men anymore. I just want to make money myself, so I never need a man again. Do you understand what I'm saying? So like I'm a force to be reckoned with. I'm not the one to play with, chair. All right. So try journaling, yeah? Each tactic you now recognize and how it played out in your life. For me personally, I need to do up getting my journal on Sheen. Guys, can you imagine all these years I've been out? I'm only starting to heal now where I can start to write in a journal. So if you're like me, because like Karis, they make them write a million notes, some weird stuff they're doing up in there, yeah. So when the survivors come out, it's like even writing triggers them with a pen and whatever. So if that's the case, video, vlog it. You can video your experiences. You don't have to put out those videos to the public, to anyone. Just have it for yourself. Video diary, record your voice so you can go back and listen. The whole point is the reflection process and seeing and looking at how far you've come along. Because on this healing journey, it's, you know, healing, it's not linear. And it's hard to see the small wins, the little things that are changing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So documenting it and having it down is really useful for kind of, yeah, just like self-awareness, reflection, and just your healing process. So rebuild identity. In cults, individuality is erased. Healing means rediscovering your identity. Like, you remember I was saying to you, like the music you like, what hobbies do you like? We can see it as a glass half full or a glass half empty. You've got to see it as a glass half full. You've got your freedom now. So you can explore what you like. I know a lot of people come out no confidence, timid, and the people that they recruit are usually like they're people pleasers, you know, they walk all over them like a doormat. Like if you're like that, like you were a people pleaser, you were like that, you know, pre-cult, you've got to do a lot of work around just IDGAF. Do you know what I mean? You've got to protect your heart. You've got to protect yourself. So, you know, that's why you've got to have a balance, yin and yang, the light and the dark. You've got to be able to be decisive. If you don't, you know, diplomatic and say, no, actually, I don't want to do that. And be quite firm and say, no, moving forward. Because I cuss people out, but I also know how to speak. No, actually, that's not what I want to do. Because of A, B, C, and D, I'm moving forward. I'm going to do it like this. You tell people what it is that you're doing. There's no room for conversation there. You speak with authority like they do. Thank you, Bluebell. You speak to them. You speak at them. You're not controlling my life anymore. Yeah? So it's that identity, rebuilding that confidence, you know, go into therapy, seeking whatever it is, reconnect with nature, get back into art, whatever it is you have to do to free up yourself and stop feeling like you're going to delete yourself. Do it. I've got artwork on my walls. I felt like I was losing it to the point where I had to get paint palm brush and start doing artwork on the walls because it was either that or I was just going to completely lose it. Thank you, Blue. So start small. What music do you like? Because if they've cut off worldly music, then you'll have to start an exploration. I say a good starting point is Cleo Soul. I say that's a really good artist to start with, and Yusuf Days. If you can't listen to music with words, because sometimes you're so depressed, you can't even listen to music with words, jazz. You can find jazz lives. You can listen to frequencies. They've got gamma waves on there, gamma wave frequencies that help your brain to concentrate a little bit, to bring you back into the present. You can try meditation. You can try going out into nature when you feel like you just can't take it anymore. You know, you've got to start exploring. What are your hobbies? What clothes feel good on you? What clothes feel good on your body? Again, having the IDGAF mindset and just wearing what you want. Because in there was so much restrictions. So now it is intimidating, like trying to get your new style. And guys, you will look at MESS in the beginning. I did. Because you're just experimenting with clothes. I came from this to what, even this isn't the final product. But this is where I'd got to by the time I was starting to, you know, get clothes that look good on me and, you know, just get out of that condemnation of like tight clothes is a 304. And that's why I wear like practically nothing, because what I wear doesn't define me. I suppose that's the little feminist in me, I suppose. You know, I'm so naughty. I'm an activist in every form of the word. The clothes I wear is activism. The way I speak, the things I do, it's all activism. It's like rebellion against the social standards that they've placed against me. And I'm going to show you that, you know, I can be 38 and wear whatever I want and still look classy and I've got more respect for myself than the 20-year-olds. I can wear what I want, chair. All right. I'm not throwing, you know what, at 20 years. It doesn't apply to the collective, okay? Only the 3 or 4s in these spaces, okay? So don't take it personally. Don't personalize everything. I have given my life. I'm here as a man of God, sent by God, by the Lord God, the prophet of God. They love to say that, chair. Then you need to look at, what do you believe about God? Spirituality or none at all? So now you've got your own mind, your own critical thought to explore that. Go on that exploration. Deconstruct, deprogram. For the first time in your life, there's no one telling you what you should believe, what you can and cannot believe. Obviously, some people do go into psychosis at this point, and some people do, guys. That's just what happens because it's just an overload. And sometimes you do need to go into psychosis during that kind of deconstruction process. So that's why I normalize mental health. There's nothing to be ashamed of, okay? What else did I want to say? Oh, yeah, you need to develop your beliefs, your morals, because the beliefs and the morals is not religious. It's universal. So no matter what religion someone has, you respect others, if that's one of your values. Respecting others, listening to others, being non-discriminatory, being, you know, not being prejudiced, you know, like all of these things. So if you have your morals and beliefs, and that's what makes you up as a person, that's innate within you, that governs your intentions, right from wrong, etc. When you go into these settings, if you see these things happening that are against your values and whatever, then you just walk out. It's like, guys, if you see those red flags, why are you staying? It's only pick-me's and begs that will be up underneath their batty crease when the red flags are, there's a giant red flag, they're still there. go into the yard to get used. Do you understand that? And it's very vulnerable people, guys, with very traumatic past. They're totally and fully dependent on the setting. They cannot leave. Each choice you reclaim is an act of liberation. So this is taking your power back. And when people come out and say, oh, actually, no, like I'm saying, no, I'm not a Christian. And I don't care because you don't define me. I'm not afraid of you. I don't feel like I need your validation. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel like, you know, the life I'm living, I need to get, you know, a checklist tick off from you. Like, I don't care about what you lot are doing up in that settings or what you think about me. I care. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of taking the power back, because they have surveillance and monitoring. It's like we care so much what the leader thinks about us, getting everything perfect for them, being their bottom bee. Now you need to be free. Be the antithesis of what you were before. Build your own identity. So an exercise that you can do practically is write a freedom list and 10 things you can do now and 10 things you can now do that you couldn't do inside the cult. So it's almost like a freedom bucket list. So you're writing down, like, write down 10 things that you really want to do, like by the end of this year. It could be something so small, like go to a rave. I was speaking to a survivor that's never gone to a rave. She's like 40, I think she's like 45 or 48. I couldn't believe it. I said, no, I've got to take you out, man. And she's got like severe disabilities, has to take 26 tablets. I said, Minakir, I have to take this broad out. She needs to experience it. Like, how can you be that age? People haven't lived life, guys. These are more extreme cases. It could be, you know, going on a holiday that's not, you know, framed around the cult. That's not like a camp. It could be, one of them could be attending a church, like going back to a church just so that they, like what I did, so that they don't have power over you. Like, you can attend a setting, like, you know, all different things. It could be, maybe you've always wanted to like do a clothing brand or something. Like, obviously that it could happen by the end of the year. You never know. But just have your freedom bucket list. And then have the 10 things that you can now do that you couldn't do in the cult. That could be get long nails, have long blonde hair without being broken down and being called a yardie and being called looking like a ghetto Jamaican and all that, yeah? So things that you could do, things that you can wear. Maybe they've got a strict policy against tracksuit bottoms. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. Reconnect safely. Cults isolate members. Healing means slowly reconnecting with safe, supportive people. Don't go back to messy people because you're desperate to be friend. Some people were meant to be cut off. Like if you were supposed to cut them off, cult or no cult, innit? Don't go begging back, because I made the mistake of doing that. Don't be a beg. Like, just, that's why I say reconnect with nature, because nature is your friend. You can go and sit out in nature with a picnic, not feel weird. That you can feel the breeze of the wind on your face. And, you know, if you've got nature, you don't really need people. Do you understand? You can go and hug a blooming tree. You get me? That's what I'm on, because I trust the trees and the birds. I'd rather sit there with looking at a bunch of swans than talking to people. Okay? So it might be a family, survivor groups like this, or therapists who understand spiritual ABUSE. The key is a healthy community is the antidote to cult community. Okay, so this is why I've been doing this up. For real, if we're meant to reconnect with people from the past, then the universe will align us. Exactly. Why are we forcing it and begging it? You need to release fair programming. Cult leaders install, if you leave, disaster will strike. That's trauma conditioning. So they trauma condition us, share. Start gently. Test in those ties. Miss a meeting, you survived. Another thing that you can do as well is look for times when you can easily slip out, like Christmas. You might be starting university. Do you know what I mean? Like, just change your uni, go through clearing, and don't tell them where you're going, and just escape. These are all windows for when you can just leave. Because during the Christmas time, you could just start to just not show up to like the rehearsals, and they're under such pressure that they'll be on to you, but they don't have the time to really chase you up. And then you get that little break after Christmas. So just cut out New Year's, Bank Holiday Monday, all of that. You're out. Yeah. Wear what you want. So again, they demonize like women, like they use our like body shaming, and, you know, like people are of Jezebel 304, harlot, whatever. So, you know, just do what you want, ladies. Do you get it? I do. Like, because you can call me all the names under the sun, but prove it. Prove it. Get the man them to line it up. Go and get the man them to come and say that I'm that in it. Go and get the man them that have had a taste of this coochie. Come and line them up. Yeah, because a lot of you lot, you lot are wearing from your neck to your ankles, but it doesn't erase what you've been doing up, baby. Do you know what I mean? So you're calling me a 304, but the real one is you, Chair. That's why I don't pay them no mind. Do you understand what I'm saying? All right. Skip prayer at a set time. You're still there. You're still alive. You're still here. Okay, you need to start to let go of some of the responsibilities that you've got in there. Just start to draw back. Make up an excuse. Say a family member's ill in Canada, Texas, whatever. Start talking about the family member now. Cut out. Come off social media for a bit. Get some time to clear your mind and really work out your exit plan. Each experiment proves the fair programming was a cage with no lock. All right. So we can leave freely anyhow, but it's the psychology that they put us in chains of psychology. That's why they say you can go, you can leave after you've made us codependent for 5 years, made us arranged a marriage, made us formed a trauma bond, done up all of this. They say you can go to where? Where will we go? Where are we going? You've demonized the world. You've made us afraid of communicating with people on the outside. You've made us paranoid, looking like idiots, making us buy invisible blessings. We don't even know how to function in the outside world. Grounding tool. When fear flares, remind yourself this is old programming, not present reality. So you need to be able to differentiate between like the voice of the cult, like that's like that voice breaking me down and like condemning me, and that's from the cult. Do you understand what I'm saying? So once you identify it, you get yourself back into the present moment. Maybe put on a frequency, put on music that will help to calm you, maybe a comfort drink, a comfort food, something. You know, this is really good, the rocking, to help you get back to the present moment, okay? Because we were put into mind-altered dissociative states for years. This is high-level disassociation, okay? So your main goal when you're coming back should be trying to be in the present. Because in these cults, they'll keep you anywhere but the present, the past, the future, and mainly in eternity, so that you'll be for idiot, buying invisible blessings and giving them all your money. So they've usually got people in the heavens, all right? So you've got to try and be as logical as you can and be in the present moment. That's why I would say scrap all the spirituality stuff, going to a church and all of that for the time being. You've had all of that for years and years and years. Now you need to get a bit of logic and common sense upon your backside, okay? That's doing therapy. That's journaling. That's finding out how trauma formed, trauma bonding. What is narcissism? Like, put yourself through that school. Go and binge watch I've done it all for you. All the content's there. Get a notebook, man. Get a journal, Chair. Take some notes. Go and explore further. Look at your current situation. You know, you've got to put in the work for yourself. Thanks for the follow. I can't do that for you guys. I'm not God. You've got to do it. Like everyone else, you've got to put in the work. They make you really lazy in there as well. Like everything's like you're like a baby, like spoon-fed with just like instructions, and you're not really using your brain. So it's a very daunting process, but you will get there. You will get there. Yes, I do still believe in God. Process the trauma. Many survivors carry CPTSD, symptoms of nightmares, flashbacks, hypervigilance. Healing requires trauma work. So therapy, and specifically for us survivors, I will be recommending EMDR, somatic therapy. But bear in mind, if you have a personality disorder like BPD, like what I have, or bipolar or something like that, then you will need like emotional regulation. So the talking therapy may help just to get your thoughts and whatever out, but it won't actually help to work through your behaviors and regulate your emotions, etc. You will need a different type of therapeutic approach, okay? So if you are doing these types of therapy and you're feeling like it's having no impact and it's not working, it could be that there's something deeper going on. So go back to your GP, voice it, tell them that you don't think it's helping, tell them that you think that there's more going on, because that period is for them to assess you and see what, you know, further support you would need. So bear that in mind. Journaling, body-based practices like yoga, Pilates, dance, breath work. Remember I said to you, just move in the body, like that central movement helps to release the trauma. Whether it's going into like, you know, a park, a quiet space, being by the river, you know, you can throw light stones in there and watch the rippling of the waves. And, you know, there's a lot you can do to help regulate your nervous system. And isn't it funny that when it comes to healing and regulation of the nervous system, etc., It really does involve nature, the things that money can't buy. That's the expensive things. But they fooled us in thinking it's about a king, a piece of paper with a king's face on it. Similarly, the church cults have done that, yeah, because they're magicians. So the goal isn't erasing memories, it's teaching your body it's safe now. You need to make yourself feel safe. You need to create safety with self, so that you can learn to trust yourself again, because you've lost trust in yourself for being in this cult and, you know, beating up yourself. How did I stay for so long? Why did I stay in this environment? How this, da, da, da. You've got to be kind to yourself, release it and let it go. A lot of you guys were from very hyper religious backgrounds with a mum that's praise the Lord, everything's devil, demon, devil. You know, it could be quite a lack of education. You could have been the first child to have gone through, you know, higher education, university. So it's really not your fault. It's in your epigenetics, all right? It's all you know. And I feel so sorry for our community, because there's just so many of these kids. They're so frail and fragile. And when they've been brought up with parents like that, it's like they're 20, but they're more like 15 in their thinking, because they wrap them up in cotton wool. And then they put so much pressure on that. It's sad, man. A lot of kids that come from those types of home come across like neurodivergent or autistic, or like they don't have the social skills, do you know what I mean, to even communicate effectively. So create new meaning. Leaving a cult can feel like a spiritual unalivement and a divorce, because you're divorcing the church. It's the most painful experience. People that you loved, that you trusted, that you saw as family. But it's also a rebirth. Okay, so guys, and this is why, you see, spirituality, it's freed me so much, because there's no fear. And for example, endings are seen as new beginnings. So I have the ideology, it might feel painful, the process of it, but that's what the rebirth is about. Unalive into self, to be born again in effect. So it even makes you think about that born again theology as well. Like, what is that really about? So again, you have to really seek within and create these new meanings that you can be free. That's why my ideological perspective and how I believe in Christ, it's not through a religious lens. That's why I was able to survive, because I just don't think I would have survived. Having, you know, come into that real, and then it's like all not real. I think I would have just gone mad. But where I was able to compartmentalize it, break it up into parts, you have to sift like the wheat from the turd. So you have to literally sit there with a fine tooth comb and go through the things which were lies, which were not, which were truth, unlearn to learn again. And what that looks like, that's going to look different for everybody, because the healing journey is not linear, and everyone's healing journey and path looks different. So healing is asking, what do I believe in now? And it could be nothing. It could be that you don't know what you believe in. My beautiful sister, welcome, my love. Guys, she's the sun emoji, because sometimes she comes in to troll me. Just so you lot know, she's always getting herself blocked, chair. So what do I believe in now? And that could be, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know where my life's at. You've gone through all this bloody trauma. You've been in a cult like a lave. They've programmed you. Be a bit kind to your blood clot self, chair. You're not like a normal Joey Blogs person off the street. You've been through severe trauma and you're still standing. You're still surviving. You've got to be kind. So you need to think about, what values do I live by? What brings me peace? Your spirituality, or lack of, is yours alone, not inherited from an ABUSER, all right? So you've got to re-establish what that looks like. Get rid of all that fear and that paranoia. This is EVIL. Listen, when you're fighting for your life, you've got to do what helps you. That's on period, point blank. So if they're saying going and sitting in nature and meditating, sitting there in silence for 5 minutes so you can ground yourself and get your mind right together, because right now you feel like deleting yourself. If you think that's EVIL, then that's your business. But when you're at the end of your tether and you don't know what to do, I would say to try these things. All right, so reflection. Write your own manifesto of what freedom and faith or human dignity means for you now. You can get ChatGPT to help you by just framing, because it's something to hold you accountable for your boundaries, for your beliefs, your morals. It will help you to look back, because guys, we are vulnerable. And sometimes we just do need these red flashing lights like in our blood clot face. Do you understand what I'm saying? A lot of us are in between. We're in limbo, in between diagnoses, like myself, for autism and ADHD. A lot of us have been misdiagnosed. A lot of us are going through investigations of autoimmune diseases, because the investigations take years. It took over a decade for them to come to the fact that, okay, you've got adrenalism, we need to remove your adrenal gland because it's unalived and you've got a non-cancerous tumor. Okay, thanks. Do you get it? So it's a lot to process, guys. So take time and work through it. There's no rush. In the cults, it always feels like, now, we've got to do things now. We've got to win the souls. We're running out of time. Christ will come back. We don't know. He's going to come like a thief in the night. It's very hyper vigilant. Like, we're always on the edge, like walking on eggshells. So that's why I had to say, I was like, oh, I give myself a year, but I don't. Because I was in there for 18 years. I need to give myself the time that I need to heal. And I'm not putting pressure on myself. I'm not comparing myself with anybody. This is my life. This is my present. Like, how do I deal with the present moment? And that's just it. So I'm finishing up now. If you've got any questions, if anything that I've said, you know, has helped you, or you want me to expand on anything, or you've got anything to add, please put it in the chat now, because I'm going to be going in 5. I think I'm going to go and make something. I'm a bit peckish. Ooh, chair. You know what I'm going to have? I'm going to do up the burgers, go and throw them in the oven, and then I'm going to go and get the that chip shop better be open, chair. I'm doing up J Cox. You wish you were here now, innit? I'm doing the burger, and then I'm doing up a J Cox, the chips, chair. You know them chips are banging. Oh, I love you so much. I'm gonna call you when I come off the live. That's my sister. I love her so much, and she I don't know how she gave birth to that child, chair, because she is beautiful, baby. She's the most beautiful thing I ever seen, the most cutest little thing. I'm only joking. She's her twin. She looks exactly like her. All right. So survivor's healing pathway. So, and guys, I'm going to put this up on YouTube. I look a blood clot mess. Look at the state of me, but I'm going to do it for the survivors. Do you know what I mean? I made a Spanish frittata and some chicken. Oh, you're so, you know what? You see what I'm saying? So come and cook it for me then. Come and cook the frittata. You get me? Because we don't want to hear that, chair. Do you know what I mean? Next, you're going to be, anyway, do you know what? Tony Lee, cook it next time. Lucia will do the sangria because she's got that in her chair. You get me? So she can do up the sangria. You know, like it's really from the Latina. You get me? All right. So firstly, yeah, with the proper sangria. My girl was talking about it. She was like, oh, if I had some oranges and whatever. She was saying she could have done up the sangria with the red wine. Yeah. I was like, this is why the Survivor Collective is good, because we have many people multicultural, international ministry. I have survivors that are bilingual. I can go to certain countries in the EU, international, and they can speak in the language for me, international. So name the abuse. That's the first thing you need to do, yeah, is name the abuse, write it down, take back the narrative, decode the tactics, break the shame and lies. Writing it down or recording it can help you to clear your mind. If you're not able to do those things, work through it in your mind. It's better than doing nothing. Because these are, when you're just sitting there feeling, and then you start getting all the flashbacks and feeling like you're gonna like unalive. This is when these things, this is when you need to watch this video. This is when you need to put on Yusuf Days. This is when you need to put on Cleo Soul. This is when you need to go out into nature. All of the things that they told us that's EVIL, it's not. Just do whatever you need to do to survive. Yeah. And get a hobby, like use all of the gifts and talents, like get a little side hustle. Like my sister does, like she's a friggin' baker, like, you know, artisan, like do it up, man. Do you know what I mean? Like get on there and sell your cookies from home, like do your stuff, chair. Like we've got a lot of talents. Everyone keeps saying to me, Leah, do your music, do your music, do your music. Hey, Queen J, do your music. And it's like, I will do the music, but it's the fear. I think it's the fear as well. I'm going to do it. It's the fear. It's the financial resources. I ain't got money to pay for studio at the moment. I've got to, you know, provide for my kids. Well, my ex-husband is there as well. But, you know, guys, I don't like being broke. I can't handle it, chair. So I can't be investing in something like the studio at the moment. I've got, my kids have to be like, have like whatever they want. That's just how it's always been. All right. But I will get into it. But a survivor shut me down the other day. She was like, no, Leah, you don't need money. You've got the internet and you've got a good following. She was like, just do covers. And I was like, okay. So I am going to be doing, like, you're going to be seeing more music. All right. I want to call it collective music. That's what I want to call it, because we've got a lot of like people who sing and, yeah, you know, we're in the choir and things like that and are singers. So I want to eventually have our own like collective choir. So reclaim your identity and discover you. So that's, you know, what hobbies do you like? What music do you like? What clothes do you like? You're just, it's a rediscovery of self. Reconnect safely build healthy bonds. So don't be a beg, don't be up underneath everyone. Like that's why I said, like, for me in this journey, I can't do up friendships right now. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I'm going to be a human fecal matter friend. Do you understand what I'm saying? I need to learn to trust myself again before I can trust others with any type of relationship dynamic. That's why I'm celibate. You know, like that protecting of energy, because a lot of people, and especially survivors, we can be walking around with a lot of mental health, personality disorders that we don't see, or we haven't been diagnosed with. And it's like, for me personally, so part of your morals and your values is also looking at, can I take on a relationship? Like, I've had to say to myself, my type is uncles. So I can't be on the dating market because they need to deconstruct and deprogram. So it's also about putting things in place to protect yourself so you can rebuild that safety, like learning to trust in yourself. So that's also about decision making, about friendships, relationships, everything. Because you blame yourself, you internalize it. So connect safely and form healthy bonds. Like, don't form trauma bonds with people where you bond over your trauma and now you're back in that cyclical trauma of unhealthy, toxic friendships. Like work on yourself, heal yourself, and then look at, because friendships are no different from relationships. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can still get a broken heart and go through a lot of things with like people that are close to you. So for me, I just like it to be like, I'm just by myself. So I'm exposing loads of church cults. I don't want to be easy prey or for people to know my business, or do you know what I mean? That's part of protecting my energy and myself. These 304s can't do that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So challenge fair programming, prove it false. So that's the deprogramming. So calling it out for what it is, watching these documentaries, my content is there. Do you understand what I'm saying? Once I get to 10K on one account, I'll then be able to put these things into folders. But my Instagram and my YouTube, there's highlights and there's playlists on there. So process the trauma. Process the trauma is so key. If you are in a financial situation, like I would advise survivors to work work for 6 months to a year and then save and then just live off that money. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And just take a year out to just regulate your nervous system, to just be in that state of just spiritual tranquility, moving with the flow of within, so that you can really heal, your nervous system, because you need time to process the trauma. Even if you take a sabbatical, you take a month off, a couple of months, just to give that time to heal. If you can't do that, guys, then just reconnect with nature and make sure when you have time off that it's things like, being near the sea, or, being in nature, or having beautiful times where you go on city breaks and you're out in nature and, creating new opportunities for you to really heal. And also they do have you can find these spiritual communities where they do somatic healing sessions. Also, I've seen these self-love things that they do, women only, and there's crystal, what do they call them? Crystals, is it singing bowls? Forgotten what they're called, Chair. But they do those kind of things, if you want to try more maybe more holistic mind, body and soul. I would say everybody you need to take care of mind, body and soul. They've said it's EVIL, but what are you going to do? Stay in this situation forever? Why don't you try it and see if it works? And then you can make a judgment if it's EVIL or not. Because remember, now you're free. So you're making decisions yourself. It's not what a man's told you or dictated to you. Now you have your own mind to be able to make decisions, and come to conclusions yourself. Create a new meaning. Live authentically. So live in your true, authentic self, not caring. I remember when I first left and I was had a little blem, outside the pub, and I was hiding. I don't want them to see me drinking and having a little, what? I don't care now. I'm walking down the street freely, but it's a process. Do you understand? I'm just saying these little things. It's a process that you go through. You might be out and you're seen in this tiny dress, all dolled up, and now you're thinking they got one up on me because they've seen me looking like a 304. But just remember, bearer them gal them are getting their backs blown out, chair. Whilst they're in those settings singing, they're supposed to be singing for the Lord and representing God. Do you understand? Their judgment is greater. You're not in there. You're not. Do you understand what I'm telling you? They know what they're doing. That's EVIL. You're in trauma. Or you're just going out having a good time. It's your friend's birthday. So what? Do you know what I mean? You've got to think logic. That's the logic. We need the logic to come. That's why they HATE secularism, because it's logical thinking. It's they can't dupe you. when it's all there and it's logical, and they don't like that. It's an enemy to their smoke and mirrors and their lies. All right, so this is what I'm going to end with, guys. This is my final thought, and I'd say take this away and maybe meditate on this and use this for kind of like, you know, like just your reflection. Guys, always have a reflection. Yeah, I'm coming back though. I'm gonna phone you, get the food, do that for the kids, and then come back on. Tony, it would be good if you're up for it, come back on the next live, because you have some really, really good, like my sister is like, she's so clinical, like she's more of like a clinical professional. So you could come on, Tony Lee, and maybe help me with the you know, like more of the therapy stuff after, because we're going to be looking at how it affects your body and your mental health and that. Guys, I look a blood clot mess. Do you know what? I actually feel like it's an audacity, me coming online looking like this, but share. All right. So the key is that healing isn't linear. Some days you'll feel strong. Other days you'll feel grief. Some days, guys, you'll be crying all day. Other days you'll feel happy. It's a roller coaster of emotions. It's up and down. All right. That's why it's important to have that support infrastructure and a safe space, you know, having someone that you can go to. And if you don't, just keeping your backside in your yard, because the realness is sometimes there's not going to be anyone. You need to learn to keep your backside in your yard. It's better. Isn't it better to cry on your pillow than be with a guy who's just going to blow out your back, make you feel worse, make you feel like more lesser than? You've got to ride it out, man. You've got to go through the emotions. Like, why are you going through these different emotions? What is it? You don't love yourself. You need to learn to love yourself. Like, go within for the first time in your life. Learn to love you. Really learn. Like, be kind to yourself, man. All of the stuff that you go through. That's why before, guys, my sister will tell you I was OCD. I'm not like that anymore with the yard, because I can't put that pressure on myself. I'm shouting at the kids. I'm on the edge. It's like trauma. It's and also from the cult, the high expectations, the perfectionism, all of that. I've had to work through that and say, do you know what? I've got to like stop this, because it's not normal. And I need my kids to feel safe and not feel like, you know, they've got to be like on edge, cleaning. You know, it's not right. Yeah. So just love yourself. Be kind to yourself. We've been through a lot, guys. And this is just the cult. It's not even taken into consideration all of the other stuff that you've been through. So you need to deprogram from the DEVIL's voice that they've programmed into your mind, because it will have you sitting there thinking, oh, I'm worthless. I'm not good enough. Look at my life. That's what it does to me. Look at my life. I've got nothing. Like I'm telling you guys, if I could say, but it's only because there's so many snitches and I've got kids. So that's why I keep my kids separate. You see all them influencers that have kids. You see that social services have been calling them. They don't see no kids online to be calling up anybody anywhere. Do you understand what I'm saying? But you've got to be kind to yourself, guys. You really, really do have to, because we've been beaten and broken down like our whole lives and become very codependent on men as well. That's the one thing. So it's like for the first time in our life, we've got to walk and stand on our own 2 feet. And that can be very daunting. That is one of the most scariest processes in your life. So you have to bear that in mind. Tell yourself that you're doing well. Give yourself little treats. Even if you can't afford, you don't have money like that, do little small things to make yourself feel better. It could be a little lipstick from a cheap hair shop. It could be, you know, a little piece, a little hairstyle, like something, just little things that you do for yourself every month. Do you understand what I'm saying? You've got to start getting yourself into a routine, because guys, these spaces will F you up. Like it's not to do with you. It's to do with the cult. A lot of us, if we look at the decisions that we made after the cult, is because we were vulnerable. We lost our damn mind. We didn't have the capacity to make choices and decisions. We're not in our right mind. And when we come out, we need to process the trauma. And we need to work through that and just be kind to yourself. The only job you have is to be kind to yourself. This is why part of this healing journey is not linear. But the first thing you have to do is say, I was in a cult. This was a cult. And they are responsible for every single thing that has happened post-cult exit. They're responsible for it. For everything that happened in there and everything that happened when you left. So take the accountability off yourself. You were codependent. You know, we were going and asking a man for permission to use the toilet, to leave the church, to do anything. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you've gone to that to now navigate in your life, in your own world. You should commend yourself. You deserve an award. 13, you deserve an award. You did that. So instead of breaking yourself down, look at the glass half full, not half empty, because someone else would have been taken out. You did that. You're standing on your own 2 feet. You did that alone. And it's not easy.
because they make you so dependent on a man that you'll see that like you know, like a pick me, like walk all over me, like I'm like a doormat, because that's what they were doing up in the church cult. So that will translate into every other area of our life: work, being a pushover outside, in relationships, everything. So you've got to strip it all and say, I had to get to the point when I divorced from my ex-husband. I am alone for the first time in my life, and I've got to do this now. And it was such a difficult realization, because the man is the head. They make the man do everything. It was like I didn't have no brain. I didn't even know how to pay bills, get into the system of doing it. It was really bad. It was like I've left them like a child, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. It was like I woke up one day. Imagine, it was like I woke up in this dream, and all of a sudden I've got 2 kids, one that's almost a teenager going to secondary school, and the other one that's 8 going on 25. And I feel like I'm like mentally 16 years old. And so I had to like catch up in life. So that's why we can't compare ourselves to people who think, oh, I'm just going no job and I can't do this. And I think the best thing for us as survivors, if you know, is to not work and to just focus on your mental health, chair. Because the way that they have rewired our brain in there, you just need to be calm to yourself. Maybe think of it as God is opening this door. Like you may not, and this is the thing, how it looks to man, because these are all social constructs. Oh, you need to have a mortgage. You need to be doing this. You need to have this job. You need to be earning this. You need to be earning that. But it's like, really? I know some girls who are high earners. They got their whole, like their big house, like everything. And when I meet with them, they're like, oh my God, Leah, I learned so much from you. Like, wow, like you're so content. Like you've got this contentment. Like they're looking at me as inspiration. And I ain't got half, like they're the ones driving the new car. They're the ones with the mortgage. They're the ones getting in 6 figures a year. I don't have that. Do you know what I mean? But again, it's how we define wealth. It's how we define success. Because if you've come out of this cult and you've been through all of this stuff in your life and you're still standing to see another day, that's enough. How can you compare yourself with, you know, like a girl that's had 2 parents in her life, lived in a friggin' £1.5 million mansion? Do you know what I mean? And compare, you can't. We can't compare ourselves to other people. We've got to be in our own lane, because we do a lot of comparison, because they do a lot of that in the cult, a lot of triangulation, a lot of comparing yourself with people, and they make you feel not good enough. They have elitist groups. So there's like all of this underlying stuff, from not feeling good enough, feeling like a reject. Social standing does not equals happiness. It also does not make you any better than others. Yes, that's exactly it. Others either. That's exactly it. But do you see, Tony, it comes from that, you know, that elitism and the patronizing, you know, they're really judgmental and like they're so judgy, and everything's about what you have, you know, like God has blessed you. Can you see them in their new car? And they just bought a house. Do you see, this is the blessing of the Lord on the members, the covering of the house. That's what they do. That's why people are taking out loans, in debt, whatever, because they want to look, they want to fit in. They want to look like the part. Yeah. So I'm going to end with this. I've ended off. A good preacher always ends 3 times. So the key is healing isn't linear. Some days you'll feel strong. Other days grief will knock you out. Thanks for the follow. That's normal. Each step forward is recovery. And the fact that you're even asking these questions means you've already started. So look, the fact that you're asking these questions, that you're on here, this is the beginning. That's what I always say. Coming on is a beginning. And take breaks. Because, you know, listening to cult stuff and all the time, it does get a bit much, you know. And that's why the survivors, they come in and out. And survivors are navigating their way through their life as well. But taking the decision to come on and really face the trauma and the reality of your situation is the beginning. It's helping with your healing. So guys, please be kind. Do you guys promise you'll be kind to yourself? Because none of it is your fault. Take the accountability and the internalization of guilt, shame, worthlessness. These are all the same feelings that you're having. Don't you get it? It's all from the cult. You might have been feeling low and this and that, but you wouldn't have even had that mindset because you wouldn't have been exposed to that indoctrination and that ideological perspective. So now your psychosocial views are still very much framed around that. So until you've properly deprogrammed and deconstructed, you're going to just it's going to be that programming that's going to come inside. Yeah. So just bear that in mind. It's like, that's what I say. Like, I could stub my toe on the door. It's the cult, the blood clot cult. I don't care, because now they're getting all the accountability. Everything that's happened to me is their blood clot fault. Me not care. And you know what? That's so freeing and so liberating, because it just takes all the accountability off myself and shifts it all onto them. It's been a life changer. So on that note, I'm going to go, love y'all. I'm going to go and feed my youth them. And then I'm going to come back. All right. Give me a couple of hours. The maggots. Oh God. You know what? I'm gonna share that, Tony. You lot, I'm gonna share the maggot situation when I come back, because now I can laugh about it. But it was like, guys. Oh, Tony, you're such a beach. Yeah. You know this girl? Oh, all right. Should I tell it when I come back? No, she said no. All right. She knew I was going to draw her out. She was like, how can you say that to me? I was literally listening to you, listening to you when you were saying that the maggots were sent from the cult. I was non-judgmental. I listened with a non-judgmental air. Yeah. All right, I'll tell you the maggot story when I get back. I absolutely love and adore you. Thanks for giving me a platform to speak my truth. Thank you for all being on here. It's a narcissistic supply that I need. All right, give me a couple of hours. I'll see you soon. Love